What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Streamcast, a show on the internet. We watch the latest and greatest stuff on streaming services with you guys.
That's right.
I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. Bro, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing? I feel like you're laying up for something there.
No.
Okay.
Well, I was going to ask you a question, but it was totally in terms of that. I was going to say, people keep on, like, for example, last time Diogo sent us that quiz to say, like, which the boys'
there
character.
were only 2 results, it seems like.
I was going to say, it didn't seem like it was all of them, right?
No, it definitely didn't.
I didn't feel like I could have possibly the chance to come out as Black Noir.
Yeah,
right?
unless you're like, I love murdering people. If a plane was going down, I'd totally let it go down. Like, oh, yeah, you got Homelander. Like,
I don't
yes.
think... I feel like if I did put those answers down,
Yeah,
I'd be like, yeah, you're still Huey, mate. You're still Huey.
On that note, though, I remember last week or a couple of weeks ago, I told you about the Vought International Twitter page and how people are like, they're putting out like real press stuff.
Yeah.
And the best thing is other people are like taking it seriously.
No way.
Well, yeah, you've seen it. Like you must have seen it.
Are they
Have you not
taking
seen
it
No,
serious?
not like really, but like they're acting as if it's like if it was Disney.
Oh, they're playing into it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if you saw my tweet.
I did see your one. Yeah.
The people are doing that, and I
can't believe Starlight is leveraging her.
Yeah, she's obviously trying to extort Vought, and let's be honest, like she wouldn't have this kind of audience if it wasn't for Vought and Homelander taking her under a wing. It's stuff like that. One guy was like, I knew Starlight couldn't fill Lamplighter's shoes. Her feet were too small to fill Lamplighter's shoes. Stuff like that is perfect. Great.
I like it.
It's really good.
So in case you guys didn't know from the title and from what we've been talking about already, we're going to be talking about The Boys Season 3, Episodes 1 to 4 in this first part right here. And then next week, we'll wrap up the whole season with the final 4 episodes, talk about it all in length, and then wrap it all up and review the whole thing and say, how did we feel about it? Was it cool and stuff like that?
Because they released the first 4 episodes. That's all there is out to watch.
Strange how they did
next
that.
week we'll just binge the next 4 when they come out.
Yeah, strange how they did that. Like, you got Netflix, dump them all.
Right.
You've got other like TV shows, TV channels that do them week by week.
Weekly, right.
HBO and whatnot. And then they've got the Amazon's choice.
Right.
4 episodes and then 4 episodes.
Right. Weird, isn't it?
Really strange.
I don't understand the thinking. It's like they sort of pick, like, people like the weekly. People like to binge. Let's just mish the two and let people binge twice.
Right.
Weird.
Strange.
Very odd.
I will say though, what's your preference? What's your preference for how shows should come out?
I like to binge.
Yeah.
But I prefer weekly.
Yes. Because
that's what I did with The Boys, by the way, is I was like, there were however many episodes out. I'm like, I'll watch one. We've got like 2 weeks to catch up. I'll watch one every couple of days. Me and my chick sat down, enjoyed the first episode, and then caught up in the sitting. Totally intended, fully intended to watch like 1, maybe 2, and then like space it out, because I think there were 6 at the time.
Yeah,
and
6.
6. And she was like, okay, we can only watch like 1 or 2 because I got work in the morning. My chick gets up very early.
Right.
We're up to like 1:30, just
Right.
watching it. Like, and then it ends, and she's like, how can it end there? When's the next episode? I'm like, don't come out until Friday. She's like, that's 5 days away.
And now both of you are just up angry, just like,
Yeah.
fuck. Ooh, I could burn someone's eyes out.
Right, exactly. I like weekly because it gives you something to look forward to. It's also good for this show. I like having something to watch.
Mate, that's the thing. When TV shows were like that, it was the norm. We didn't think much of it.
Right.
And we used to have that water cooler moment where you used to talk about like Game of Thrones every week that came out. People used to talk about online.
Right,
it was cool. It was cool like that. And then we got the Netflix style
era of just here's the season.
And I feel like for the most part we enjoyed it. We was like, oh, the whole thing is out. We can just enjoy the whole thing and go like that.
But it causes spoilers.
There's so many downsides.
Right. Like if someone's got extra free time, or like their missus away for the week,
they're not sleeping.
Ridiculous. I mean, who's not sleeping? But if they weren't. Yeah, like my chick was like, oh my god, it's so late, it's 1 o'clock. I'm like, okay, part-timer. I'll be up for another 4 hours. You go to bed. just go to sleep. Weaklings. But like, spoilers are a problem. Like, you're going to watch something and you're going to go to the water cooler, and over the weekend, somebody with more free time than you watch the whole thing. It's I can't believe this happened. Like, it's that Homer Simpson reveal. Like, I can't believe Vader was Luke's father.
Whoa!
Right. Like, So but I like to binge.
Yeah.
But I prefer if it was an old show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like once it's all out, I can binge it. But if it's coming out, I don't know.
Nah, I feel you. I think I'm more on the weekly side if I'm honest. But hey, it's not us that gets to choose it. Netflix have adopted that one style. So anything that happens over there, yeah, they're losers. That's why the stock's going down and they suck. Yeah. So The Boys.
That's right.
Season 3. 4's been confirmed. So that's cool.
Good. I mean,
Obviously, right? Who turns down this?
Right.
How was your feelings in general for the first half of this season?
Early on in like the first episode,
Yeah.
maybe the first 2, I was a little bit worried that we were kind of just repeating ourselves a bit.
Right.
But then it's The Boys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I think this is probably maybe the first half of the first episode. I was a little bit worried that we're just more of the same. It's like once you've done one season of, let's say, Smallville,
Yeah.
it's just all the same after that.
I mean, bad example, because it keeps on getting better. That's how it is, and more of it just means more better,
bigger, more. Exactly. More is more better.
More is more.
If anybody's seen Sons of Anarchy,
I haven't.
that's a really good show. All 6 seasons on Netflix. Feel free to binge.
Do it all in one night. Why not?
Right, exactly. The early seasons of that are really good because it's like fast paced. A problem comes up with it's about a bike gang, sort of like a mini Hell's Angels. Problems come up and then they solve that thing, but then this agent is looking into their thing because of the thing they did to solve the thing. And it's always these new dramas. But by like season 4, 5, and 6, I'm just tired of them never getting a rest. Do you know what I mean? Like the pacing never comes down because they always have to have these high paced things, and it just gets samey. And I was worried that was going to happen here, but because the way the show is paced and how it does like corporate bullshit, it does like the interpersonal lives of the heroes, it does like actual villains are coming in, players are in play, and stuff's moving. I feel like it's a lot easier to not get bored here. And I don't know if you know, but I noticed this is set in an alternate version of the Supernatural universe.
Well, just because of Jensen Ackles.
No, genuinely, not because of Jensen Ackles.
Okay.
Bobby Singer, Robert Singer, the guy that's running for president,
Yes.
is Bobby Singer from Supernatural. It's him. He's from the place.
Oh,
He's
Jesus,
from
this is
Idaho, wherever Bobby is from. He's like North Dakota.
Is this
They call him Dakota
actually
Bob.
an alternate universe?
I'm not 100% sure. Like, I do think it's some sort of DC thing, and technically Supernatural's in a DC universe, and I'm pretty sure because Robert Singer in the show is Bobby Singer. He's from the same place. He's from I think they name dropped the town. I forget. Like, he's the right age.
This is what it's like whenever I see any Smallville reference. That's what
it's the same actor as well. It's the same guy.
That's pretty cool.
So I was like, oh, sick, because, I mean, like, it's Bobby. And that means something to, like, me and Katie. Also, I want to say...
Everyone else,
I want to say, first of all, Jensen Ackles, no one's that straight.
No.
I call dibs.
When I saw him come out of that thing, I was just like...
So, and I don't know if you know this, I swear we'll get into The Boys, but he was top 3 for Captain America.
Yeah, I heard.
And he turned it down for Supernatural.
And he was also top 2 for Smallville.
Yes, it was
Clark
him and Welling.
Kent.
It was him and Welling.
And just went the other way.
Yeah.
This guy's just this close to greatness all the time.
Shut the fuck up.
And he's just always failing.
How dare you? How dare you? He got a better version of Captain America.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
You know?
I don't know
Wait.
yet. I don't know yet. I have literally only watched the first 4 episodes, and I've seen the flashback stuff.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I haven't seen enough to know.
You've seen
to
him.
know
He's
yet.
Captain America.
Basically,
OG
seems
Captain
like he
America.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Soldier Boy. Ooh.
No.
They need to change the name. That's what they need to do.
I also, one of the things I was thinking about this earlier, like their names are pretty shit. You think about it. It's like it's corporatized versions of stuff that we know, and then I'm thinking like, okay, here's this guy, Soldier Boy. Okay, well, like, what would Soldier Boy think of Captain America? That would sound really corporate and shilly.
Yeah.
Right? That sounds like it's designed to sell merchandise.
Captain America is very
right.
It's supposed to be patriotic, but it was designed intentionally to sell bonds to make money for the government.
Exactly.
It was the top level of shit, right?
Exactly.
There.
It's a merchandise drive. And then you think, okay, well, like Superman, that's a basic name, like Superman. That's
Very
a bit,
basic.
That's kind of boring, but he's in America colors. Why not call him like American Man or Homelander, right? Like, it's not too hard to go from, or like the Flash, A-Train. He runs as fast as a train.
Yeah.
Hits you like a freight train, that kind of thing. Like, I can easily.
And Maeve, wait, that doesn't work.
No, like,
That's the only one that doesn't
like
work.
Wonder Woman's
The
not
Deep.
exactly like amazing. The Deep's pretty dumb.
So that's really dumb, that one there.
That one's bad.
I really like the start of this episode as well, and you know something clicked with me, and I'm this is my own stupidity on some part. Because I was just watching it purely to enjoy it,
Yeah.
right, and see all the superhero characters and things like that, and it's only just sort of really properly clicked with me now because of specifically one of the episodes where they go to that theme park and they see all the themed stands and stuff like that. Not only is this the boys a piss take on the corporates of like America and every company that just try to wring as much money out of consumers as possible.
We just
and
had
stuff
Pride
like that.
Month, and if you didn't see the parallels, you're not paying attention.
Exactly. It's also a mock on the people,
Yeah.
however, who just eat that shit up from all these companies, all these people, and the governments and everything that just go along that just go, oh, they really care about me. It's like, these guys are apparently really caring as well, and you get to see behind the curtain and see them just go, we don't give a fuck, we just want to get their money out of them and control them to do what they want. And I absolutely love it because it just makes them look so stupid.
One of the things I really appreciate about the show is that everyone's getting ripped into.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, the corporate stuff, I think there's a couple of times when, who's the bitch that runs the show? Not the lady under Stan.
The redhead one.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, I'm not sure what her name is, but the really weird one.
Her.
The weird one.
She, a couple of times, she's like, yeah, we stand with Pride, all that stuff. And, like, talks about how she changed her Instagram thing to be the flag of whatever's hot at the minute.
And when she was talking to A-Train, it's like, I've put 6 black squares on my Instagram for
My Instagram's just
Black Lives
squares,
Matter. It's like, oh, well, there you go, right there.
But it's funny because, like, they
But
put...
no one gives a fuck about your African thing that you're talking about. I was like, that's exactly what they're like. God.
Exactly, that's my point, is that, like, they take the piss out of the corporate stuff, they take the piss out of the people that buy into it, they take the piss out of, like, the ridiculous social justice stuff, take the piss out of the fact that other people are, like, everyone's got.
Yeah.
Including, there is a scene later on, because I have gone a bit further than episode 4, where they put, like, the, you know, use independent news sources crazies, you know, the Alex Jones types, but they put that person into, like, your unsuspecting, like, more mild, middle America, sort of leaning left person, so everyone's getting got.
Right.
Which is what I appreciate about the boys, that they're like, everyone has these weird things, you're all exploitable, and like everyone will buy the line. Everybody's buying some line.
Right.
And I appreciate that. Because
I saw it as one step further.
Yeah.
I saw it as they're really taking the piss out of all the insufferable people of all of the groups that you know.
Yeah.
It's like whenever you go listen to a podcast or a news or something like that, and you hear, oh, they've got the extreme left or the extreme right or this thing like that. Those people, the insufferable people, they're taking the piss out of them.
Yeah.
There's the people in the middle that you don't hear about, obviously, they've got nothing to make fun
You
of.
mean
They're
normal people.
Exactly, just normal people. They're just going about their
Right.
life, watching TV shows and just enjoying shit.
Exactly.
Right? So they don't take piss out of them. But the other people, I love this show for that reason. And all the other stuff as well. All these superheroes, all the fucking gritty characters of like Butcher versus the soft character of Huey, and how he's trying to bring each other sort of together.
Right.
Bringing him a little bit more softer, him a little bit more harder to make like a decent person in the end.
Right, between the two of them,
Right.
between the whole gang,
Right.
they'll make one functioning person, maybe.
Exactly.
I feel like Frenchie might have messed the whole thing up for everyone though. Like he's pretty
Him and
Mother's Milk. And
not Mother's Milk, the girl. What's the
Kimiko,
yeah. He's head over heels for her, obviously and what they both are for each other. And she just wants to get out of here, but he's making all the wrong decisions in order to get out of here. And it's like, you're gonna throw a wrench in the works. It's gonna throw everything off track. Anyway, so where do we start with this?
Let's sort of just talk through it.
We are just talking through stuff.
I did love as well the fact that this whole thing starts with basically Endgame,
Yes.
the Vault game, I love the fact
love
they talk
that.
about Vought Plus.
Yeah.
They talk, all this stuff. I'm like, man, this is so right.
It's like just Disney.
And then when you think that it's being made by Amazon, it's
Yeah.
like it's just so tongue in cheek.
When I saw this, I was like, this is what would happen if like Disney were to actually make superheroes. Or
Right.
if Amazon was to actually make superheroes.
Right.
This is what the world we would live in. Just be thankful that we can't get real superheroes, because this is what it'd be like.
Right.
I did like it, and it was hilarious to see Charlize Theron playing the Stormfront. Stormfront, that's it.
Yeah, and she also makes like Thanos level, like pretty compelling arguments. You're like,
Like-
oh, that's a pretty good, like
Well, that was the whole point of Stormfront, wasn't it? Stormfront was making speeches and ideas and pushing agendas that were semi like acceptable to the public. The public
Yeah.
were accepting it. But then when you go and reveal the fact that she's a Nazi bitch, then it's like,
Right.
oh, none of these things are good now because now they're
Right,
Nazi
right.
related. It's like, you was accepting them
This is
before. I don't.
Actually, the Stormfront character is really well done.
Yeah.
Everything about her, because if you actually pay attention to history, what actually happens is not one night everybody wakes up racist.
Right.
What actually happens is a 14-year-long campaign of just ever so slightly changing the conversation. You agree to one premise, like, okay, cool, well, we're here. And then the next premise is very close. You agree to that. And before you know it, you're shaded out from that, like, middle grey all the way to one way or the other. Right? You're suddenly in a really extreme place. And it seems like a lot of really reasonable decisions to get here that were missing a couple of frames of reference.
Yeah. That's the way it is
Yeah.
in all bad decisions in the end, but you don't know until you get there, right? Until you get to the point, and then some people are like, hold on a minute, we've strayed a bit too far here.
Right.
And it just takes someone kind of
And then you
brave
just get
to
someone
turn
to
up to
push either over the edge or
Right.
push you really far back. And it's really hard to get far back because you took... The problem with human psychology is to get there, most people take logical steps.
Yeah.
So you're in a logical place,
Yeah.
but you've moved into an extreme.
Yeah.
And that's what made the writing for Stormfront so good.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was playing a very long game because she was functionally immortal. She couldn't age, right?
Yeah.
So, and she'd seen it done once pretty much perfectly, except for losing the war.
Yeah. And now she just needs to not do that bit.
Right.
Anyway, we do get I had to have a recap of what the previous season was because I forgot a lot of what was going on.
You forgot something?
The gap, I know, right? It's just
Right.
So what did you say?
Huh?
So,
Who are you?
the gap was quite long between season 2 and season
pretty
3, in
big,
my
yeah.
opinion. And
I would rather get it weekly and not have like a 1.5, 2 year gap.
yeah,
Like maybe just prep for 3 seasons so it can be like
Bang,
8
bang, bang, bang.
episodes, 3-month gap, 8 episodes, 3-month gap. That might be much better.
it's also a little weird for this as well because other like Game of Thrones, you had to fucking have a castle,
Right.
you had to build a village essentially,
Yeah.
all that
So
dressing.
much of this stuff happens in like on sets or like out in the woods somewhere.
Right? You could surely it should be quicker. Anyway, I had to watch a recap and I completely forgot how the ending of the last season went. That Becca died.
Oh yeah.
That Stormfront got so mangled up.
Demolished, yeah.
Fucking like only her eye and one arm was
Right.
left, and she's laying in a bed basically unable to move, can just barely talk, and I guess her plan is still in go even though she can't do anything.
Right.
And she's just trying to comfort Homelander and try and get him to execute her will.
Mate, you know the weirdest thing? It was so toxic. Where like Homelander comes in and complains, and she's like, "No one suffers like you do," and I'm
No.
like,
Like, let me
"Right,
let me
what
help
the-
you out with that.
What the hell?" It's so weird.
And then the way she starts talking to her, she's like, "Oh yeah, no one suffers like you." And there's like,
You'll
"You're gonna-
lead the army of Ubermensch against the like, hold on a minute.
a perfect Aryan army," and it's like, "No, I'm the." God, you've ruined it. And he takes his dick out.
Ruined the
It's like,
moment. I did love as well that we got to see a bunch of other like heroes. Butchers now went from like trying to kill all the soups to suddenly again now being funded by whatever Grace's organization is.
Yeah, it's not the FBI, is it? It's
Yeah, so Huey,
or is it a covert branch of
Huey
it?
and that chick.
She works for they work for FBI.
Yeah. They're setting up like the soup watch thing.
Yeah, it was called SMA or something like
Something
that.
like that.
Superhero Watcher.
Yeah. To like curtail soups doing bad, but it will obviously they're not getting the big bads, right? It's basically like the low-level street violence of Soups, right? Or fucking up the random person.
I guess they would go for someone big if someone big was to slip up in some sort of way.
Yeah,
The
like
bigger
enough for
you
them
are.
to go after it and publicly.
Right.
But like they're not going to go after the 7 because that damages as much of the like agenda as anything else.
Yeah.
I like going after was it the Nat or the guy that got big could get bigger.
Oh, yeah,
what was he
yeah.
called?
I'm not sure what he was called, but that was the very first episode.
Yes.
He opens up with him fucking a toy doll in a toy house.
Yes.
And everyone's watching, just cheering, and then he makes himself super large, and then he brings himself down again.
Right.
But then he goes into a back room with a guy.
Yeah, like
and
his boyfriend. Yeah.
He's like, I want to feel you inside me. And I'm like, all right.
okay, it's gay.
A bit of butt play? No.
Yeah, we've all been here.
We've all been here. We've all been in this situation. And then he gets really small, and he puts his dick on the table, and he goes in his dick.
Fun fact, you know that's a physical set. Like when he climbs into, yeah, they made that. Yeah. You can Google it. The behind the scenes are out there.
Do I want to Google it?
How could you not know it now? I would recommend that you don't, by the way. But I have seen it. I love that they actually made it a physical set.
That's crazy.
On this note,
Yeah.
there's an episode later on. I don't think you'll have seen it yet. It opens with a disclaimer that says something along the lines of like, this episode, all the events are fictional, the characters are fictional. It contains, violence, sex, drugs, and stuff, and it's not really suitable for young audiences or really any audience. We're sorry.
Okay, all right.
And I was like, I love this show so much.
Thank you, God, for giving us this show.
Right.
Thank you, Vought, for giving us this.
That's right. Thank you, Vought.
But I do love what happens right at the beginning. It sort of goes
Just
from
doing some
0
coke, yeah.
to 1,000 in one. He sneezes inside him and just blows him into pieces.
Right.
But then Frenchie comes in. So what was his plan with him? He was gonna get information out of him or something like that.
Yeah, I think they
Tic
were.
Tac guy.
Tic Tac.
That's how much he was.
Yeah. I think the idea was to like blackmail him.
Right.
Was to like he'd done some stuff and to like get some dirt on him. Like maybe he wasn't supposed to be here or something.
Yeah.
And then find some dirt, something he wasn't supposed to be doing, and instead he kills his boyfriend.
Right.
And that's good enough dirt. But he's a Soup and decides to like go after everybody.
Yeah, and he was Frenchie comes in with Kimiko, and he starts climbing up Frenchie's trouser leg, and he's like, "He's gonna go in my ass! He's gonna go in my ass!"
So
I'm
I
like,
think
cracking up when I
I
was
think
watching
that
this.
was this guy's like the way he did things.
Yeah.
That was like his that Thanos meme of like Ant-Man climbs inside of him and gets big. I think that was this guy's the way he did things.
Yeah.
That's why he was screaming about that. And obviously the guy's too small for Kimiko to get.
Yeah.
So it's like he might not be particularly powerful, but he's not exactly easy to deal with.
Right.
Unless you're like Homelander.
And also, he seems to have like, even though he gets smaller, he's like an ant. He still has his
Ant-Man,
strength.
basically, yeah.
So he's throwing people across the room, even though you can't see him.
Right.
And eventually, Butcher comes in with the new clean self he is. He catches him in a bag full of cocaine, mixes him up a little bit, and it's like, oh, you like that?
I like the fact that he ODs,
right?
Even though, like, yeah, it was good.
And he puts him on the table, and he's about to squish him, but then he stops, and it's like,
Also, do you think that would work?
That's the thing. I wouldn't think so, right? But I don't know. I mean, it could just be
maybe because he's extra small, but then he's as strong when he's small. I don't know.
It's
weird.
Anyway, he doesn't squish him, and he tells him like tell the bureau to pick him up. No problem. We'll get away. And then we see a couple of scenes with Butcher and Becca's daughter, and Homelander's daughter, and it seems to be that while he's not taking care of him as like a father or anything like that, he is still making sure that he's
it's the love of his life's kid.
Exactly.
And
he's acting quite nice around him. The guy's basically been the best thing to a father that the kid's ever known.
Which has really cleaned up his act.
Yeah.
We get their sense, I can't remember if they actually say it, but it's been about a year since all of the stuff kicked off. And in that time, Butcher has stopped drinking. He's like on the straight and narrow. Like he's still going after Soups, but he's doing things like legally. He's being funded. His team who want to stay are actually getting paid.
Yeah.
MM's out. He's no longer doing the Soup thing.
Yeah.
Like
he's on some medication because he
Yeah.
used to not think about it.
Yeah, so like things are on the straight and narrow. Everybody's on the up and up. They're cleaning up the streets from like rogue soups, and like things are looking good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, at least from
Things
the outside.
only go well in the universe.
The kid's quite cute as well. He's even though he's lost his mum,
Yeah.
even though he realized his dad is like a super murderer, fucking terrible, and he's got the burden of being a soup and all the shit that comes with that.
Yeah.
Seems to be quite a cheery kid.
The kid's
for what he's
surprisingly well adjusted.
doing. Right, and he's just
That's
his whole
Clark
life
Kent,
is,
isn't it?
Yeah, his whole life is in a house with this old woman.
Yeah, that is one thing I feel like wasn't fully explained very well. Why Grace is... It's Grace Mallory, right?
I think
is
so.
her
Yeah.
name. It's
Mallory, that's it.
That is right.
Yeah.
I was thinking that's M from from James Bond, but it's the same name in it.
Mm.
Like, I don't exactly get why she's taking lead here,
Yeah.
but I guess it's because they know that, like, her and Butcher know Homelander was grown in a lab, right? Or
Yes.
brought up in a lab, right? They're aware of that.
Yeah.
So I guess it's that they're trying to give him some, like, stable life. If he's only ever, like, his only family is, like, the agents that are looking after him as they rotate in and out, that's probably not very healthy. So I think they're trying to make him not Homelander. That would be my guess.
I think Becca got the idea that... I think she was told, wasn't she, about Homelander situation?
I forget.
I can't remember, but she must have had the idea that the reason why Homelander is the way he is because he didn't have like a stable family and a mother to take care of him. I could do something with this child here and hopefully create a better version, a better hero, a better thing for the world. And that's what a kid needs anyway. A kid needs a mother. And I guess they all just saw what Becca did and sacrificed her life for it. It was like, all right, I guess we take on the responsibility now.
It's pretty important because, like I said, you don't want him to be like deranged, unstable, and just totally unable to function in society. Just like
Batman.
our Super Bros over on patreon.com/conversations who supports out the $15 tier to make everything happen, including supporting you peasants over here on the FPN. Where we run the flagship show, the only thing keeping this fucking shit show afloat.
Yes.
Who do we have to thank?
We have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cum Sock, Sabine for all these names are great for the boys, by the way. Just
they actually
dildos
are,
and cum just everywhere. Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling. Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger. Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Filthy Thief Fanatic Joe McCormack. Clark, the 53rd. My Juicy Left Nut, the super sexy producer Sean. Chris, the Ghost of Tsushima hater. He hates it, he told me.
What?
Hates it. It's anything Japanese related. He hates anime as well, apparently. And Gams Master, the leader of the Empire, the fearless one, the great Lord Vader himself, step cousin, who isn't really related to anyone of importance, but he likes to be involved.
Step cousin, innit?
Yeah, that's a step cousin, not even a step
cousin by marriage.
Yeah, not really in there. Anyway, thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on, the gaming going here. So the streaming service is going.
That's right. Sus.
Anyway.
Where the frick were we? Butcher
yes.
gives him something when he goes. Is that right?
What does he give him?
I have no idea. I feel like he gives him a gift or something. He had something for him. He brought it. It doesn't matter. I don't think it ever comes up. I'm just saying I think he gave him something.
He's trying to be like a decent father to him. So even though he's not saying it, he's not around as much, he's there occasionally because he loved Becca, and this is the only connection that he has to Becca anymore. It doesn't go well for him though. Let's wrap up the Butcher and the kids scene. I guess it doesn't go well because later on after some events, after some things that happen, after him getting angry and taking some temporary compound V and stuff like that, and hearing about the events of where was it that Mallory was, that those old soups came along and fucked everything up in Russia. Nicaragua. After hearing the events of that story, he gets an episode where his eyes are almost burning through his head, and he goes into the bathroom to pretend like nothing happened. And he comes back and he realizes he's sort of like a danger to everyone around him, including the kid. So he leaves and he says some pretty shitty stuff to the child.
Yeah, he does, and it's, I don't know, hopefully everybody caught this, but he's actually not doing it to hurt the kid. He's doing it to keep the kid safe, and if the kid wants to see Billy, it's Billy Butcher, isn't it? Yeah, if the kid wants to see Butcher, that makes it harder. But if the kid doesn't want anything to do with Butcher, that makes it easier for him to stay away.
Gotta make him hate you.
Right, exactly, to keep him safe.
Yeah.
We should mention this though, because
but he says it in such a fucked up
he's
way.
a cunt.
Probably like, you killed my Becca. It's like, like you didn't need to go that far, bruv.
Well, Billy is not a very functional person.
No,
he's one of those guys. Like, if you ever look into like real life stories of like the guys that like founded the SAS and stuff in World War II, a bunch of these guys, incredible during World War II, and then when life's normal, their lives fall to shit.
Yeah,
like they're just they are only good in these terrible environments. It's where they like shine.
Yeah,
because they can cope with all that stuff, and they can't cope with like normal life, and that's kind of Billy. We should mention, because we kind of skipped way past it, Temp V.
Yes,
Billy. We find out about it because Stan Edgar is pitching it to Robert Singer.
Carlos Petito.
That's the one. Yeah. Basically, it's $1 million a shot, and we'll give your soldiers superpowers.
Yeah.
And you don't have to deal with soups.
Yeah.
Right? You give them the steroids, and they go.
This is perfect for them. Perfect for a corporation, because it's like any pharmaceutical company. They don't make money off of the cure. They make money off of the medicine. It's like the treatment for it. So this is like keeping the government on the hook. It's like a couple $1 million a pop for each one of these things. 24 hours gives your soldiers superpowers.
Right.
They can go do the business in the war zone, then come back and you guys have won. But then you need to buy another one to go.
Right.
But he does mention, and obviously this is going to play a part later, which I don't know about yet. Is that stable enough? We're still working out some of the kinks.
Yes, there are kinks, and not the fun kind. Oi, oi.
Hey,
so
we'll talk more about kinks in a bit.
We will actually have to, I think. What happens at the end of episode 4? Because I'm like 2 or 3 episodes ahead. I can't remember.
End of episode 4 is literally where we see Jensen Ackles coming out of the.
Cool, so we're in Russia,
and that's what happens.
So yes, we will have to talk about the other stuff. So Butcher finds out about this stuff.
Yes.
Because he's in fact handed some, and it turns out that there is a leak, and the leak is Maeve.
Yes.
Maeve has been feeding Butcher information so that he knows who to go after. Like, I think at one point they say, how did you know to go after Mr. Tic Tac, or whatever his freaking name was? A source. Well, who's your source? Anonymous, come on.
Can't tell you.
I can't tell you my source, but it's Maeve.
Yeah.
And she brings him a couple of doses of Is it V24?
I think they call it Temp V, but it's whatever. It's temporary powers.
I thought it was V24 because you get V for 24 hours.
Could be.
But anyway, like the Temp V, the green shit.
Yeah.
She gives him a bunch.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what happens with Maeve.
Maeve, we don't see much of her. The only thing that we see of her afterwards is obviously Starlight and Huey are planning to overtake to kill Homelander. That's the whole plan. They come up with there's apparently a weapon they can find, BCL something another. Yeah. They're like, we need you to stay here, Starlight, in the 7 and play everything normally so he doesn't find out anything.
Yes.
So when we find the opportunity, you're right here in the perfect place. And then we see
should actually talk about this a little bit more, because Maeve, that's it. Maeve brings Butcher this information. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but the whole premise is that Maeve tells Billy, Butcher, that Homelander didn't die saving someplace from a nuclear.
Soldier Boy didn't die.
Did I say Homelander?
Yeah.
Soldier Boy died in the 80s.
Did they say that?
Yeah, so the official story is that Soldier Boy died in America, saving a place from a nuclear meltdown.
Yes.
And was killed as a result of that.
Yes.
And Maeve says that isn't actually what happened. He was killed by a Russian weapon in Nicaragua.
Right.
And it's got some cool codename. It's like codename Red Laser or something.
I heard it was like BCL something or
I don't know. It's called something. It's cool. I was like, oh shit, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And Billy even says this thing is like, well, he was damn near as tough as Homelander. Yeah. Like, if that thing could kill him, we might have a shot of either it can kill Homelander or it can weaken him enough that we can get someone else to do the job.
Yeah.
So that's where that whole thing kicks off. And she goes, okay, well, you'll need this. Gives him the V24, gives you superpowers for 24 hours so that when you find this thing, you can get it out and we can get Homelander done.
Yeah.
So that's important. That's like a big deal. And then something happens with Huey, right?
So Huey,
Huey wants to toe the line. He's like, we're doing good work. We've cleaned up, like, soup incidents are down 60%.
Yes.
And he's also calling the shots for Butcher, right? He's the one that's saying, like, okay, you have this target. I'll give you the funding for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he keeps him in line as well, so no more massacres happen and stuff like that. But one guy comes around the bureau.
Yeah.
And is looking for Nadia.
Right.
And it's like, there's no Nadia here. It's like, no, that woman right there, the one in the picture. It's like,
what's her
that's
name?
not. I'm not sure what her name
Kate?
is, but something different. It's something different. It's like, no, that's Agent so and so. I think you're getting it mixed up. It's like,
and he starts shouting, like, Nadia. Yeah. She doesn't notice him, but
it's like, tell her Todd was around
Tom,
here.
yeah.
Tom was saying was around,
Tim?
and
Tom?
she'll
Tony,
one of those ones,
tell him T came by.
Yeah, that's it. T. Tell him he came by, and then she'll know. We're long friends.
Yes.
And then she goes out one night, and it's like, oh, I'll see you tomorrow, everything like that.
Right.
And then Huey spots that guy following her go around a corner into like an alleyway. He follows and sees them, hides behind a garbage can, and they're talking. And they're friends. They do know each other. So you can't come round here anymore. So
You're my only friend from the place that has a name, which I forgot.
Exactly.
The place.
And they're like, no, and then they start like hugging it out. They're like, look, you have to stay apart from each other. It's for the best, for stuff like that.
And then they pull away, and Timothy's freaking nose is bleeding.
Exactly.
Whatever his name is.
And he realizes what's going on for something. We don't know yet until we see afterwards.
Well, we do know from season 2.
Oh, yes, we do. Sorry, we do, yeah. And
I love how the code names in... or like the names they give for people are so dumb. Like they refer to her as the head popper. Like, she's the head popper.
Oh my god! And he makes like parts of him explode. His hand, and eventually like his whole body.
Yeah. Also, I did love that Huey's whole thing was, I don't want to get into this. I don't want to be covered in blood. Ends the episode showered in blood.
Showered.
Yeah.
That last explosion rained down.
Yes.
And he's fucking traumatized by it. Or he's like,
she also makes a call.
Yeah.
I need a cleanup team on Isle 8 or wherever the frick she is. Like, I need someone.
And she just runs
ducks
away.
Out, yeah.
And Huey realizes that everything that I've been doing was for nothing because I've still been working and with a soup.
Right.
I've been doing, and
this is
at the end of the day, people are dying.
This is the soup.
Yeah.
So of all of them, the head popper, Nadia or whatever her freaking actual name is, she's the one that's made the biggest waves, right? Because Stan Edgar, is the one that was like, okay, you need to kill these people. She's killed politicians. She caused like this whole big soup thing. She caused all of this to happen. She's actually the big problem here.
Yeah.
Other than like Homelander is more of a personal beef. No one actually thinks that he's like affecting policy or stuff. This chick's affecting policy.
Yeah.
So like she's kind of a big deal, and he's been working with her to clean up the streets from soups.
Yeah.
And she makes a call to some unknown, presumably agency that is ready to clean up an exploded body, right? Like if you've got a number to call for that, you got to assume that number's serious, you know?
Yeah.
And that you've not done it. You've probably done this before, right?
Yeah.
So Huey realizes Butcher was right.
Yeah.
And
there's no good way of doing any of this.
And goes to see him in that badass building. That building's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but also I feel like that's the building John Wick goes into in that one movie.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Movie 2, but like it seems like maybe they have him go into the outside of that building and the inside is a totally different building because it doesn't look right, but it's a cool building, isn't it? It seems perfect for like a comic book, like detective agency to have their offices right at the top of that thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And they come up with the plan. They're like, okay, look, we're gonna do it the old dirty way. We're gonna get the gang back together. We're gonna do everything the way we used to. And they call up Mother's Milk. They call up Frenchie comes in. Kimiko comes in. They all get the old gang back together.
Yeah.
It's all quite heartwarming as well. They was like, hey, look at
kind
you guys again. Yeah, we're all back together. Isn't that
Except
cool?
that like it's not quite right. Like MM isn't back yet. And Kimiko and Frenchie kind of want to go.
Yeah.
But weirdly, Frenchie seems to be the sort of person that if you're a cunt to him, he'll stick around.
Yeah.
And if you're not, he won't. It's very
It's
bizarre.
a bit of a, but we get to see kind of why, because he's a bit of a beaten dog, sort of like abused child
Right,
sort of
right.
thing. So like later on in the episode, we see him get picked up by some
Little
people.
Nina, I think they call her.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and this woman at this random butcher or convenience store.
It's like
It's
so
very
shop near
Russian
here.
gangster.
Is there a shop near here that's like a butcher IT place?
Yeah, like they got a phone shop in the corner,
Right.
and she's very like slowly talking, very soft and stuff like that. But then like kneels down on his dick, and it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah, but he's kind of into it. It's weird.
thing. It's very clear that, and she says it as well. She's like, "Look, I get it. You're with Butcher now and whatnot.
Right.
Before Butcher, it was me, and before it's very much like, yeah, you need someone to lead you, like
Right.
the dog that you are.
Yeah,
type
yeah.
thing.
And you don't like just being told where to go. You like being made to go there.
Yes.
It's bizarre. There are
very
people like this.
Yeah.
I've thankfully never met any of them. It's weird, man. And
I've
French
never
is a
met
weird
them.
guy.
Maybe I'm them.
Yeah, that's right. They say what they say, like if there's someone in a room, if you can't tell who the X in a room is, it's you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like one of those things. Yeah.
It's like, wait, you don't look like a sexual deviant. You don't look like is it me?
As what they say, like 1 in 3 people is a sexual deviant. It's not me. It's not you.
Hold on a second.
Hold on a minute. How did you get in here?
You watching through the glass. Yeah. So the whole idea of the whole show basically is that they've got this tip from Maeve that there is a weapon that can be used and possibly it could kill Homelander, and that's
Yeah.
the whole idea. We didn't get to find out until late that it was Maeve, and that fed them the information.
Yeah, we
and
find
it's
out later.
sort of her idea, kind of, to get this thing ball in motion, and she's kind of practicing and preparing this whole time for this
She's
fight,
training,
for when
yeah,
this
yeah.
happens.
As if it'll make any freaking difference.
Right, like
You're Aloy, he's a Thunderjaw.
it's like, oh, let me just practice my sword swings. Let me see if I can, and then flip. Oh, yeah, that will help in a situation where he's flying above me.
With laser beams.
Right? It's the speed of light as well. It's like he just needs to look at you. Done. There you go. But also, can Maeve, do you reckon, survive that?
I mean,
If she can run into
Stormfront-
a bus.
Stormfront was really powerful,
Yes.
and she couldn't. But one of the odd things about this universe is we're never exactly told how powers work, which I kind of appreciate, because if you don't ever try to explain it, it's much easier for us to just suspend disbelief and believe it, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's like trying to work out how any of Superman's powers work. It's like,
Right.
So his flight means he can move faster than air particles.
Right.
But then how does he float?
right, exactly.
And then how does his clothes not get hurt? When
Exactly.
Is it a few inches
And
out?
there are some weird things in it. So, like, no one ever really explains toughness. So it seems like anyone that's on V, any suit, is just tougher than normal.
Yeah.
But how tough is up for debate. So, like, that translucent guy from the very first thing, he had the toughest outside, but his insides, that sounds gross, were normal, right?
Yeah.
Or nowhere near that tough.
Stick a
But,
bomb in his ass. Boom.
I can't remember if you've seen it yet, but there is footage that they find of Soldier Boy.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Soldier Boy's insides are as tough as his outsides, basically, right?
Damn.
I think in the very next episode you'll see a scene which will confirm that.
Right.
I'm not going to spoil it, but he's tough. He's
Cool.
very tough, inside and out. It's like that scene from like Superman where the guy shoots him and it hits his eyeball and it bounces off. He's
Right.
not that tough. He's not Superman, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So like Maeve could well be tougher than Stormfront,
Yeah.
but not stronger, if that makes sense. Like she
Yeah.
could be more resilient, but not more. Like that probably wouldn't affect Translucent at all
Right.
because he's like diamond skin.
Hmm.
But if Homelander lays it down his throat, it would kill him.
Yeah.
Right? So they never really explain it, and it's kind of good because it means they never have any rules that they break, right?
Yeah.
Which is good.
Ish. Yeah. Because we're sort of in the unknown area, but if we know, then it might be worse.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
What was I? Yeah. So she's preparing to fight, and but she does say it's like, hey, look, we need to. I'm going to be preparing to fight.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just going to be enough to like delay him a few seconds to get a shot off on whatever this weapon is.
That is what she says. Yeah.
And it's like, but we're not going to be able to do this just me and you. We're going to need a few more people.
Right.
So see if you can find anyone else who wants to join
Yeah,
our
yeah.
our kill
That's what
Homelander
sends
group.
him to MM, isn't it? Yeah.
And
In the meantime, Huey is looking into the Nadia stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember how he found out that Todd, or whatever his name was, that got exploded, mentions Red River, and he looks into it, and it's a home for like Soups. It's a foster home for Soups.
Yeah.
And
finds out that she was adopted by Stan Edgar.
yeah, so in summary, he goes there. It's weird. He says he's looking to adopt with Starlight, and
By the way, we're adopting a kid. What?
yeah, the paperwork's coming in the morning. Somehow copies the files, goes home, reads about it, and sees all the footage. And does he find out that she was?
I think she does. I think he does. Sorry.
Or is it just that we then see a flashback and we see what happens?
I think he does, and we see the flashback to sort of give
we
us
see
more
the video,
information.
but we don't see Stan Edgar, and we know Stan Edgar's voice.
Right.
And
right.
then that transitions into the flashback, I
Yeah.
think, of what happened. And he basically says, "Look, I'm going to bring you."
Yeah. And we also see Stan Edgar going to her house.
Yes.
And sees her kid.
That's right.
And like being a decent grandfather, father, and stuff like that. Everything's all cool.
Yeah.
Stan Edgar though has a plan, and he tries to get this woman, which with Nadia, we don't know her name,
Yeah.
so,
His personal sniper rifle.
to execute
Yeah.
on this plan, and she does something the opposite. She kind of like throws Stan Edgar under the bus to sort of protect herself, but kind of because she's being coerced by Homelander, right?
Yeah, there's a few angles going. No, not quite. So there's
Okay.
a few angles going at once. So we wrapped up the Red River thing. The boys go to look. They go to Vortland to see Red Lady or whatever her name was.
Yeah, to find the old Soups, the ones
Yeah,
that got
the guys
taken
that were in
over
Nicaragua.
by thing. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because we've heard the story from Mallory.
Oh yeah, so should we talk about that? They mentioned the story. Let's talk about that while we're in it right
Okay.
now. Mallory tells the story about what actually happened in Nicaragua with
Soldier Boy and
Soldier Boy and how
what were they
he
called?
disappeared.
Payback, I think they were called. Was
Yeah,
the name of the
Payback.
team.
So it's like at the time this was like the Seven of the time.
Right.
Stan Edgar was there as well in the younger version, which
Yeah.
I did not believe, by the way.
I didn't believe that was him either.
He tried to talk, and I was like him, and I was like, "You're not pulling off the
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito thing."
Yeah, you're not.
Appreciate you trying, but you know.
I think it would have even been better for him to have not been like that,
right.
and see that there's something that we're not seeing, that he's changed over these 30 years, where he's just like, hey, look, Noir, I don't want to be here as much as you. I would, I
Yeah.
think that would have been easier than trying to carry the same presence of one of the only people with that kind of presence.
Exactly. He's very unique. You can't
Yeah.
do that. Anyway, we get to see Black Noir back there.
That was cool.
Do you think that's Black Noir?
Yeah,
You do think so?
yeah,
Okay.
I do. Weirdly, apparently,
Yeah.
because my brother looks into the comics. Apparently, in the comics, so we've diverged from the comics quite significantly.
Right.
In the comics, Black Noir is apparently a clone of Homelander, and the reason Homelander spirals out of control is there's all this footage that comes to light of Homelander doing all these terrible things that he doesn't remember doing,
Right.
because it wasn't him.
Oh.
It was Black Noir, but it was him, but it wasn't him. You see what I mean? In this version of events, Black Noir is just a ninja with no
Interesting.
money, so he's functionally useless.
Even with money, Batman, you're useless. Okay. I have a suspicion that it's not the same one.
I had that same. So I had a couple of theories running throughout this whole thing, which I've now gone past and have been confirmed or not confirmed, and I was right about 2 out of 3.
Okay.
But I know what you're saying,
Yeah.
because I thought something was up here as well. But
It's like, oh, he burnt his face. Oh yeah, that's convenient. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Why is he silent?
right, well, I think so. You will find out,
Okay.
or you'll find out how badly damaged he is.
Oh shit. Okay.
But yes,
Okay.
but I do believe that is him, and his throat's been damaged. He can't speak. Is my thought. He actually cannot speak
Okay.
because of what actually goes down in that thing.
In that thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're in where was it? Nicaragua. And the whole idea is that this is like a secret operation. All these men here are here covertly.
Here's one thing I love about this show.
Go on.
It's not just beefing out like dumb people. They take fake government missions and make it like real. Gets Grace to admit what they did. The point of her mission there was to take cocaine from there, bring it back to the States, sell it, and use that money to funnel into other governments that were pro-America.
Yes.
And then he tells Grace, tell him the rest of it. The drugs were sold primarily in black neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Right? These are...
It's like we were told explicitly to sell it to minority groups.
Yeah,
to
black neighborhoods.
like, don't not to the white areas, but to this areas. And adds so much more to it.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but these are real things that happen. I'm just going to say this is 100% real. Nazis landed a man on the moon, not America. And I'm not joking as well.
What?
I do not. Okay,
I don't know about this.
You can Google this. It's called Operation Paperclip. At the end of World War II, the Americans took all of the most. It was kind of a war. It's what kicked off really the Cold War. It was to take all of the Nazi scientists, because the Nazis had the best scientists. So their rockets were incredible. Like, we got destroyed. London and England got destroyed by the V2 bombs,
Right.
which are incredible rockets for the time. So it was a race to pinch all the Nazi scientists,
Right.
to the point where, what is that guy's name? Werner von Braun or something like that? The guy that ran NASA at the time that they landed a man on the moon is a Nazi scientist, Nazi commander. But one of the guys who would, this is true, ran a factory making rocket parts and would hang regularly the 3 slowest Jews on the line to keep production up. He's an actual Nazi. When I say Nazi, I mean these guys were kept away from the Nazi war tribunals because America deemed the rocket technology
useful. Sounds about right.
And there is a million of other classified or now declassified things. Look into, these are real. I don't want to get too like, look into MK Ultra.
This is how bad bad the governments are.
Like, that's one of the great things about the show is we get to address like actual racism. We get to address like movements like BLM and Pride and stuff where it's a good idea and then gets taken over by these people that shouldn't be in charge, and then the people that
enable them.
Anybody that thinks that changing your Instagram profile picture is helping, like if that's all you do is helping, like, oh, I'm showing my support for the cause, like you're not really helping. It's a good, like, but you need to actually do stuff, even if it's as little as like a real conversation with somebody, right? You're not actually helping if all you do is change your Instagram profile. Like the corporate bitch is like, I've got like only black squares on my Instagram. Like, cool, a way to placate people and do nothing.
Yeah,
that's really what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
But you should look into these real government operations. The UK did it. America's done it. There's been some awful shit. Government's terrible, and this is exactly the sort of thing that they really do.
And this is what they did. They were funneling cocaine, smuggling into the US, selling it to people so they can fund their own efforts elsewhere. And Vought get brought on as a deal by the government.
Yeah.
To bring soups in to obviously help out because they're super. Right. They can do much more than a regular soldier, except they're completely untrained. They're completely up their own asses because they've got superpowers, and they just do whatever the hell they want. One of the guys who's like a flyer, I guess, that, is just flying around in the air, giving away their position. Mallory's like pissed the fuck off. He's like, what the hell are these people doing here?
Is it Gunpowder? Is the guy's
Gunpowder?
Yeah, they want to just shoot off a rocket like this, like as if it's a USO tour or something.
Said Homelander again, by the way.
Have I been saying Homelander? Because I'm thinking of like the main guy in it.
Soldier Boy and Gunpowder. Like,
that's the one.
Let's fire off this rocket, boys, and it's like
we're gonna give away our position, you fucking idiots. And then the story culminates with basically they did give away their position. Yeah. The Russians, was it the Russians or the enemy? Yeah, it was the Russians came. Yeah. Killed Homelander and stole his body.
Homelander again.
Oh my god, I did it again!
Soldier Boy.
They kill Soldier Boy and take his body to like Homelander. Right?
I'm gonna say Homelander now every time.
They kill him to take his body for like experimenting on, right? To get the V.
They come in and attack. It's a fucking stupid thing because all the soups they start attacking the wrong people. Yeah. That Scarlet Soldier woman.
Anyone that isn't American, basically.
But the thing is that Scarlet Woman throws her energy ball thing, destroys 3 of Mallory's men. Those are my men. It's like. They're just completely untrained. They're thrown into a war.
They're thrown into chaos, and they have no regard for anybody because the problem with soups from any era is that they've grown up super. Yeah, like they're the ultimate rich kids.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
That's what it is.
So again, another real thing. There was this one rich kid that killed a person drink driving.
Yeah.
His lawyer argued that he had, and they coined this term, affluenza. That he had been so rich that he had no idea about the
Didn't know the
consequences of his own
consequences.
actions, and he got off because of it. Or it was part of his team, and he got off. But that's sort of like what these people are. They're spoiled rich kids who, when things are hurt, it's either they just never face the consequences of their actions, and they didn't care enough to learn who was on their team and who wasn't, and so they just start shooting at anybody, functionally anybody that's brown, basically, that isn't one of them and isn't a white American, or Stan Edgar. That's it. They must be part of the enemies, and they just get rid of them.
They start blowing shit up. Everything goes haywire. Some bombs go off, and Mallory gets thrown around. Where she comes back round, that Scarlet bitch woman. I don't say Scarlet Witch. Scarlet bitch. She comes along and says, "Oh, they killed Soldier Boy. They killed Homelander." And
why am I doing that as well? Because I fully know. Because for the record, simp Jensen Ackles so hard.
You want to replace him so bad.
I've been looking forward to this for so long. So I don't know why I've been doing it since the beginning as well, haven't I?
And apparently they took his body.
They killed him and they took his body.
Yeah, and it's like, well, that's
not good.
Exactly, they've taken him. That's what we're gonna do. And that's when we see Black Noir without his mask on, and he's like all fucked up and stuff like that from all the bombs that's dropped. And this
is the impetus for Butcher and the boys to meet up with Little Nina and call in a favor, basically. Yes. So we'd already been introduced to Little Nina because she picks up Sergey, Frenchie. Yeah. Why is he called Frenchie if his name's Sergey? That's
weird, right?
I mean, I know he has a French accent and presumably grew up in France, but his name's Sergey.
Yeah.
Anyway, he mentions he was picked up by Little Nina and she wants him to do a job.
Yeah.
And Butcher's like connecting the dots. Well, she's Russian, she's got connections.
Yeah.
Let's
For that
go
information, we could trade something. And they both go in there like, both kind of like alphas.
Right.
They're both the dom of Frenchie.
Yes, I suppose. Yeah.
And they're both.
I really don't like.
It's weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Suddenly, when I think about it that way, it's much worse.
It is, and they're both kind of like they know, and they're like looking at each other. They're like, yeah, we're both pegging this guy emotionally.
Right, except her probably literally.
Yeah. And they strike a deal.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, for this information that I'm going to give you, you have to do a job for me. You have to go kill this guy. And Butcher's just like, hey.
Yeah, you got to kill this like Russian oligarch guy, and for that, I'll get you the location of the weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're like, and Frenchie, Butcher's just like, well, it's just killing the guy. We kill plenty of guys.
Yeah, we kill plenty of guys.
And it seems like
Frenchie was basically a hitman.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's throughout this whole series. We are introduced to this guy as like a drug addict, but like a dude that his whole thing is he's like an arms dealer and will kill people. That's his whole deal.
Yeah.
And we know throughout the thing that he was the guy that gets sent to do the wet work. Yeah. So it's like, okay, it's one more guy. Yeah. So he is trying to turn his life around a bit.
But one thing I do like about Butcher though is that he does try to buy the information. He doesn't try to first do that. And Frenchie's trying to protect a girl that he saved as well, so she doesn't get...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about her. Yeah,
taken out by this little Nina chick. And it doesn't go that way. So I don't really... the money's great, but there was a lot of inconvenience, you know? What about my inconvenience, man? Anyway, do this job for me, that's the idea. Yeah. Butcher then goes back and goes, we just need to kill this one guy. I'm not going to do it. Frenchie, you're not going to do it. We're just going to send Kimiko to do it.
There is a couple of stuff that we got past a bit because it doesn't quite go this as easily as we said. So like before they realize where stuff is and who they need to go to, they go after the old Payback, the group, to like get more information. So like they go to see Mrs. Lady, who doesn't want to talk and runs away. Frickin' Butcher goes to see Gunpowder.
Yes.
And one, I love that, like, again, everyone's getting the digs in. So he's like, the government don't want you to have these things, like, you know, it's like the super double repeating extra kilomatic rifle.
Everyone deserves a gun. It's like the kids are like on the table, they're drawing guns. The one's holding like a rifle, and it's like, cool, this is the extremist. Okay, all right, we get it.
Exactly. It's all the groups.
Yeah.
And basically, Butcher meets him in the toilet.
Use code Gunpowder for your 50% of your hollow points.
I love that. He meets him in the toilets and basically sort of goes, you know,
I'm your biggest fan.
I'm your biggest fan.
I've got every gun you've ever made.
All right. I need you to tell me about Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
It's so nearly called
Homeland.
again.
Yeah.
And he basically says, if you don't tell me, I'm gonna let everyone know that he was diddling you.
He implies that, like, why were you around the whole time? Why was you always his sidekick? It's probably because he was diddling you on the side, isn't it? That's what he's doing. But I'll go tell everyone.
The other thing I love that Gunpowder goes, he never touched me like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, at one point I was like, so Butcher's reaching here. I was like, wait, he is acting like...
Is he reaching though? Is he reaching though? Because Homelander, who I do mean to be talking about this time, could do any of this shit, right? And we know that Soups are into weird stuff and power games and shit like that. Yeah. So, like, is he reaching?
Even people related in the Soup circle. Yeah. The fucking ginger-haired bitch is about having her hair ripped out while she's being fucked.
Yeah, that's super weird.
And wanting to peg a guy with a Homelander dildo.
What's with that? Also, we're skipping ahead a bit. Superhero branded dildos. What is that about? I feel like that is not hitting the target audience appropriately. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Which is in the prostate. You shouldn't be hitting the audience. I need to find out if this is a thing.
Least if it's at least even when it came to dildos, I was like, of course there are superhero dildos. Of course there's a Black Noir one. Of course
the Black Noir one makes sense.
Right. Of course there's a Homelander one. But then I was like, why is there a Starlight one? What is
that's like, weird. Also, I just googled it or Amazoned it. There are no Superman dildos. Thank God.
Man.
Also, I would have thought that
my evening plans ruined.
I mean, do you know what? I got nothing. I just feel like we shouldn't be corporatizing that. No. Oh no.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Okay, so I typed in Superman dildo.
That's exactly what I looked.
And the first thing was Superman dildo Etsy, and I was like, "No, tell me this isn't real." But it's just dildos, and it just automatically. Yeah, okay.
It just filled.
Yeah, there's no
search.
Superman on here.
Okay, cool. Thank God.
Although there was a picture of Homelander, but it's a poster next to a dildo, so it's not anything. Okay. Someone's got a T-shirt. My ideal weight is Henry Cavill on top of me.
Perfect.
It's good.
Yeah, it seems right. But it's talking to Gunpowder. We'll get back on topic. That's how he finds out that he needs to speak to Grace.
Yes.
Gunpowder. What actually happens is Gunpowder comes after him in the parking lot, parking lot, and his superpower is he can bounce bullets. Like, it's dumb.
He's like really good at shooting, and he can like bounce them off of like
Imagine
walls.
a villain or a hero that's good at shooting. Just shit.
Awful.
No one cares.
My superhero doesn't use guns. That's what it is.
I mean, my superheroes are rule against using guns.
Exactly. Rule against them, and in the same movie will not use guns against anyone else.
And would never use guns, hypothetically, in like a nightmare universe, deeply into the future where it's literally an apocalypse, because even that wouldn't be enough to break the rule.
Exactly. And some people might bring up the fact that maybe in the source material he had used guns before.
I mean, the thing is...
Ignored.
It's not his guns. If they're like mounted... chain guns on a ship,
right,
or a frickin' jet,
yeah,
including bombs. That's not. He's not shooting a gun.
Yeah, it's not like holding.
He's pressing a button, and the gun shoots.
Right, completely different
at people that he's aiming at.
Completely different.
It doesn't count.
Exactly.
So basically, Gunpowder comes after him. They're in a shootout. Billy's easily outmatched. He takes the V. Oh no, he took the V before he got there, right?
So, if I remember correctly, the way it went is that the first encounter that he has with him goes poorly because he just doesn't expect to get in this fight with him.
In the car, and
then I think he comes back afterwards another time, and he's sort of resting on his car. He's like more confronting him this time, and he's like, "What the fuck who the fuck you think you are?" And then that's
this
when
is on a second day, isn't it?
Yeah.
A different day. He comes back. He takes the V, comes back to Gunpowder.
Yeah,
and then Gunpowder goes to do the thing, but he's taken the V. He's super now. I also love that Billy's powers mirror Homelander, who he hates.
Yeah, he's like bulletproof and lasers from the eyes. Right. It's like, I wonder if he can fly. I wonder if he can fly.
I don't know. But he beats shit out of Gunpowder. Gunpowder reveals that they're in Nicaragua, and he confirms that Soldier Boy didn't die in the reactor, and he should speak to Grace because she's who ran the operation. But he doesn't know. He knows Grace. Gunpowder just says that the handler was Grace Mallory.
Yeah.
And then Billy does what a Homelander
zoom, cuts the car in half, cuts
the
his head off.
Yeah.
And he's dead.
Yeah, that's how we get there.
What's the next part?
I got
That haven't been
Homelander.
covered.
The problem with my notes is I always make notes and I assume I'll know what I mean. So this episode ends with Homelander goes off on TV. I don't know what he's doing. I don't remember.
I think I remember now. Okay, so there's the first of all there's a couple of TV moments they have. The first one that's gonna be good for the audio versions. So the first time that it happens, he's on
Someone's going to be driving down the motorway and think they've blown out a tire or
What the
something.
fuck is going on? He goes on TV and eventually he gets pissed off. He's like, look, because everyone's asking about the Nazi bitch
They're
that he was
always asking
with.
about, yeah.
And he's like, how could you not see that coming, etc. Anyway, then he sort of like goes off and he goes sort of like, I'm better. I'm
Yes.
better than all of you. You
Yeah.
guys should be respecting me, looking up to me, but you're not. I'm better than all of you. He
It's
doesn't
it's actually a good speech.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. He gets dangerously
not too threatening.
Exactly. He gets dangerously close to saying exactly what he means.
Yeah.
But he has enough composure, and I don't think it's like calculated, but he just doesn't go quite far enough to people to be worried. So he goes, they're asking me to act like I'm the same as you, but I'm not. I'm faster than you. I'm stronger than you. I can fly.
Yeah.
Like, you're not, and they want me to say you're the heroes. I'm the hero.
Yeah.
And without me, you'd be in danger.
Yeah.
I'm saving all of you. And
Yeah.
it's sort of like one of these things where, in the right lens, where if you don't know anything else about him, you're like, yeah, this guy has saved us and America so often. He was tricked by somebody, like as if Nazis never tricked anyone before.
Right.
And he's been asked to apologize. He's apologized a bunch, and he shouldn't have to apologize all the time. Enough with like America and our symbol of America looking weak, and enough like he's a hero.
Yeah.
And he got tricked, and he's apologized, and he's sorry. Like, yeah, fair enough.
And his like points go up. His
Yeah.
like approval points go
Yeah.
up. And
Oh shit, we did miss one thing, which was that frickin' Starlight's co-captain or whatever of the Seven, and this is where Homelander's starting to like not unravel, but like starting
just
to
one
not
thing
give
after
any
the
more
other.
fricks. Yeah,
It's,
poor
Stan,
guy, isn't it?
Stan Edgar pushed this idea that she's co-captain because he has what's the power he has over him again? Well, while he's
Vought.
CEO,
Vought.
but still,
So, like-
what's to stop him from fucking just annihilating everybody?
Well, this is the thing, and I think this comes up. It's either this episode or the next one, but Starlight confronts Homelander.
Yeah.
And Homelander's like, yeah, I'm done listening to you. And she goes, okay, well, I actually really appreciate, let's see if I got these notes here.
I'll link the
yes.
video of you
She-
on the plane.
Right. And he says, you know, the funny thing about like taking everything away from someone is then they have nothing to lose. And then there's this awkward, very pregnant pause, and he says, first I'll take out the nerve centers. The White House, the Pentagon. Then I think I would go for major infrastructure. Like
Internet, cellular, water
satellites.
power.
It's
And then I'll just blah, blah,
I'll take it from there. Something like that. And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. The only thing actually keeping him in check is his desire to be loved and to keep all these nice things. But he could.
He says that at the end, doesn't he? It's like, I prefer to be loved.
Yeah.
But if not, then feared, well, that's a good second best. It's like,
And I love the fact that Homelander isn't just a petulant child. He is highly intelligent. And it's kind of terrifying. Because the idea of, like, Superman, we never think about, like, okay, Superman can burn down the planet, right? You just sort of think of Superman, if he was to do that, just sort of destroying stuff as and when he finds it. What makes Homelander so much more terrifying is he goes, I'll take out the nerve centers. White House, Pentagon, Downing Street, wherever the one is in France. Like, I'll take out leadership. Then I'll take out infrastructure, and you'll have nothing.
yeah.
You'll be basically cavemen again. This is a guy who has probably destabilized countries for America,
Yeah.
right? That's what these guys get used for all the time. Because we know from the early seasons that they were sent on operations around the world to do stuff, to target places. That is a thing that they do.
Okay.
Like, this guy's given it thought. He knows
Yeah.
how he would do it. And that's way scarier somehow than just a dude that's really strong throwing a tantrum. Because that guy gets bored.
Yeah. Eventually, right?
This guy has targets.
Yeah.
It's freaking terrifying.
It's like an AI that has access to nuclear bombs. It's like,
Right.
hold on a sec. This is a thinking thing.
It's Ultron. The only way to keep humans safe is to make sure there's no more humans. And then they can never be in danger,
There you
right?
go. That's right. Anyway, yeah, that's the first TV appearance where he has that. He gets some approval from that, and he gets a little bit more confidence, and he decides to execute his plan, where he's going to
Also-
overtake everyone and things like that.
We see him out of his suit.
Yes, we do.
There's two things here. The real life thing is I can't remember his name. Anthony something.
Yeah, Andy Starr or something like that.
That's right. Anthony Starr. Jensen Ackles was complaining or sort of saying how much effort he had to put into the getting himself in shape, into that kind of shape, Captain America shape, basically, for Soldier Boy. And Anthony Starr's just like, why didn't you get him to put more padding in the suit? Which is, a real life thing.
Yeah.
In the show, I choose this as a headcanon. We see Homelander, and his suit is padded.
Yeah.
Because we see him like naked at one point. Pity we don't see the dong. I'm just curious to know what he's
I
working
just
with.
want to see what
But I
Stormfront
choo-
had to work with,
I actually like that version of Homelander. I like the idea that Homelander has not withered away, but he's not super ripped like Henry Cavill's Superman. Because one, how would he get that way if he's that strong?
Yeah.
Like, was he going to be bench pressing trains?
It's like, even if you do, he just doesn't feel it.
And
It's
also,
just-
he's so strong. Why bother?
yeah.
But for the propaganda, for the image of him, he has the suit. And I don't think that's supposed to be a point. I just like it. I like to headcanon the idea that this guy has this padded suit, so he looks really good, doesn't need it, doesn't care.
No.
It's just for the image,
Yeah.
It's dumb, but I was just like, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It just adds a little bit more like of that gritty realism a bit. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There is a bit in between the second TV appearance where, well, this is one of the TV appearances, I should say, where, so there's a show going on as well where superheroes come, I guess, to audition and to show off their
Little
powers.
Miss Soup or something it is, isn't it?
Yeah, and they get, essentially the top two winners are going to get put into the 7 to replace some of the people that they've lost.
Yeah, America's next hero or something.
Next hero, yeah. And it's being run by Starlight and Homelander. They're together going to decide.
Yeah.
And behind the scenes, obviously, it's all being chosen like it is on all these
Of
shows
course,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. It's
You
all
think your
planned.
voting counts? Like, no.
And they go, all right, we're going to pick this one guy who was Starlight's old flame, old lover.
Yeah, for the drama for the TV. yeah.
Exactly. He's apparently it seems like a really nice guy. Everything's all straight A's. He's not there to seduce Starlight or to ever have a relationship with her, but he's just want to be a super and do the right thing.
Right.
Too bad he has a really cheesy boy band backstory to
Yes.
him, and he's really like,
Oh, they make him sing the song, and he was like, "That this song was creepy when I was 16. Now that I'm 30, it's like
even worse, right?
it is
Even
gross." Yeah,
Anyway, do it for the cameras. He gets picked to go on the team, and they go, but Homelander has an idea
this is
for the
where
second
that
person.
discussion comes in, where because she's like, "Well, I can make the choice." Edgar said, and she tries to use the footage to like gain power because she wants to pick.
She
There's
wants
like a
to pick-
Muslim girl, I think.
Yeah, I forgot
Moon
her
Shadow?
name.
No, that's the black girl. It's one of them two. So the
Yeah.
other two.
I've forgotten a lot of
So
names in the
funnily
show.
enough, and I think this is part of the whole Vought TV thing.
Yeah.
Everybody in the running
Yeah.
is like minorities. The guy is Mexican. He's
Like-
Latin.
like,
he's not Mexican in it. They
it's
make
like-
a point of saying he's not Mexican.
He's doing great for our Latinx
That's
community voters. And
So he's obviously a Latin guy, and
Yeah.
then the other two are women, and one's black, and one's Muslim, but she's wearing the
Headscarf.
Headscarf,
Yeah.
and like so. The point is that they're again kind of pushing an agenda,
Exactly.
and it's all
like all companies. They're not
yeah.
really picking you because they want to give you an
Right.
opportunity. They're just trying to take a box and fool you into thinking that they're nice people.
exactly. And how does this go down?
So Starlight wants to pick the Moonlight girl, the black girl.
No, she wants to pick the Muslim.
Oh, sorry,
girl.
she
and
wants to pick the
Homelander's
other-
like, she's a fucking Muslim. I'm Mr. America. We're Team America.
And the
she doesn't vibe.
and
It's
the
like-
corporate
it's like
people
weird.
they say the most racist shit in the world. It's like she gives off Afghanistan vibes, and it's
Is
like
that what they say?
fucking
Yeah.
disgusting people.
It's
bro.
ridiculous, isn't it?
But that's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's what these companies are like, and that's what they're saying
Also,
behind the scenes.
I
behind your
do
back.
love that I forget his name. He's so good as well, and everything else. I don't know his name. The one guy from like marketing, the black dude. They literally make him dickless because of something in season 2. Do you know the guy I mean? He's the guy that was fucking A-Train's ex.
I've forgotten.
I forget his name, but he fucks a soup and loses his dick.
Right.
And so they make like one of the premier marketing guys literally dickless, which I thought was great. Just to
There you go. And Homelander comes in with the idea. It's like, all right, look, we're not going to pick any of them. How about this big bold idea? We bring the Deep back into the Seven because previously he had mouth raped Starlight and been kicked out. He'd gone on a Christian find yourself mission.
Ended up in a cult.
A cult, basically, and it's all like...
Let's be honest, the Deep's the sort of guy that's always going to find himself in trouble because he has no idea how stupid he is.
Exactly, he's pretty stupid. Anyway, and they're controlling him. It's so obvious as well.
It's ridiculous.
And like, let's bring the Deep back, and that's someone that he's ass kissing as well his way in there. Starlight obviously is like, no, this fucker is a bastard. He's hurt me.
Right.
I don't want him in here.
Also, it's not
really
really
up to you. I'm
inclusivity.
Homelander.
He doesn't have any inclusivity points. He's a straight white dude, right?
Straight white dude.
Like
Who
straight white
wants
dude
that?
who's been in the Seven before,
Exactly.
messed it up.
Right.
Like of those, these other two people. No, actually, none of these three are, sex offenders.
Exactly.
I think that alone, right?
That should be good enough,
Plus
right?
the corporate box ticking. And I'm sure they're great heroes as well.
Yeah.
I would kind of like to see.
We didn't get to see any of their powers. We didn't get to see what who they didn't even speak. That's the thing. They didn't speak, so we don't even know anything about them.
Yeah. Also, what
But
what a slight. Imagine me like you're in the final and the only people that don't know are you.
Exactly, and you see the televised reaction as well. They're like, okay, so I've forgotten the guy's name, the Latinx guy that they picked. Like, okay, you're our first corporate box tick. That you're gonna be in the Seven. All right, no problem. And then they go, all right, now the next person, the last person that's gonna be in the thing, Homelander announces it. Is the Deep? Welcome back, and he's right behind them in the shadows, and he does his like pose thing.
Starlight tells him, goes, okay, hang up your capes, and they're like, what the frick? Like, because he hasn't been on the show, no one knew he was back. He was sent off to like the middle of nowhere.
Right? Fucking terrible.
But he probably still has that hardcore audience, right? Because they haven't replaced him.
I guess so. And they go.
Some people like Arthur Curry. What's to say?
Yeah, some people are weirdos. What can we say?
He's not even a billionaire.
It may be because they only like the Arthur Curry now. They don't like the Arthur Curry before.
Right.
Anyway, he comes on and they're doing the announcement. They're like, hey, welcome back. It's like, I'm sure that we can all move past it. And they even get Starlight to say, I forgive you, the Deep, live on TV. and he doesn't like say like, I accept it or I'm
he's
sorry.
like, cool.
It's good that we all have perspective now. We can all move past it. It's like, right.
Didn't even like acknowledge it.
Exactly. Like it was all her fault, right?
It's terrible, isn't it?
And then Homelander, one final thing. It's like, I can't hold on any longer.
Yeah, where does this come from? He's just
know.
messing with her, isn't
Right
it?
on the spot, just comes up. It's like, I don't want to hold it in anymore. Should we jail them? And she's like,
what? Do you want to burn the nerve centers and then go after infrastructure? What are you talking about?
no, not that thing, not that thing, the other thing.
Yeah.
Me and Starlight are in love.
Yeah.
And she plays it kind of well. I mean, that amount of shock, the way she held it in, she's like,
right.
and then the guys in the background, they're like, and cut. That was amazing. That was such a great thing. I loved it. The only thing, could we do it one more time, but without Starlight being so fucking shocked?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I was shocked, bruv. I have a boyfriend. Everyone knows this.
Right.
It's like, what the this isn't like this wasn't a secret relationship on the side. People have seen me
Also,
at premieres with this guy.
This is like daytime TV drama level writing. Like, this is brilliant. Like, it's not friggin' brilliant. What are you talking about? It's not brilliant at all.
Anyway, they take the shot again, and Starlight, because of what Huey said, where it's like, we've got this weapon, we just need a bit more time, you need to play the part. Because of that, she plays into it, and very well. They say it again, she goes in for a kiss, she's doing the thing that she did from back her pageant days, where she's like fisting, holding her... She's fisting herself from behind, yes. And it goes on, and it's pretty fucked up. There is a little scene afterwards where Huey sort of stands up to Homelander behind the scenes off camera.
Yeah.
And Homelander just tries to play it off. He's like, we're just messing around. It's just a joke. Don't worry about it. Don't get some panties in a bunch. I would have been shitting myself going up against Homelander in any way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
He literally took a step to him, and I was like, what?
You kind of forgot. It's like those guys that talk shit behind computer screens and then forget when they're in real life that they can't just talk shit.
God.
Anyway.
Anyway.
One other thing happens here. Oh, yes. To celebrate,
Yes.
Homelander invites Deep to have a seafood dinner.
This is bad.
This is awful. I never thought I would like empathize with an octopus.
Yes.
And whoever it is, I don't remember his name. The guy that's playing Deep
Yeah.
is so good.
Yes.
He makes him eat Timothy.
It's bad in the beginning because it's a seafood dinner restaurant, and everyone
Right.
else is slurping down oysters,
Right.
eating lobsters, and he's just
Yeah.
like, I'll just can I have like a vegetarian
salad
option?
or
Get a
something,
salad. And then it's like, oh, the chef special, bring it out. Puts a plate in front of him, takes off the top, octopus.
Not just
And-
any octopus either.
So, oh, it's Timothy.
Also, for the record, this isn't like an unknown thing that he can speak to fish and stuff.
Yeah,
Everybody's fully aware
yeah.
that he can, in fact, it's one of the ways that he finds things in the sea. They know.
Yeah.
They know.
This is just Homelander fucking with him
Yeah.
properly.
Took his friend Octopus, who also maybe they
Was that the one that he had? He was
Yeah, he was
talking
sucking him
to
off or
while he
something.
was having sex.
that's right.
So it was like moments ago, right?
Yeah,
And it's like, so yeah, you need to try it. It's like, apparently he's like, it's
a
delicious.
delicacy
It's
or something.
delicacy, exactly.
and
It's
then
like, I can't eat him. Like
he's like a wife and kids or
he's my
something.
friend and whatnot. And apparently this whole time Timothy's talking to him,
Yeah.
and he's like, he's scared.
Yeah.
And like,
There's a point where he puts he's praying.
oh god, oh it's
Mate,
terrible.
it's awful.
And then halfway in his mouth, the octopus inks in his mouth as well, and it's just like, oh
It's awful.
no. And I was like, if that thing is alive and it knows you, I would not put that in there because like the thing that about octopus is people have died from eating octopus
Yeah.
live.
So
It like it holds onto your esophagus when it like went halfway down your throat, and then you fucking
choke.
suffocate.
You choke,
You
yeah.
can't do anything.
yeah.
And this is the worst
And
situation.
Also, it's not even alive. So if you notice, once he bites it and eats Kevin or whatever the guy's thing's name was,
Timothy.
Timothy. Its stuff keeps going. Its nerves keep going. Its suckers keep going. That's how these people die because they'll like cut off the things and eat it. By the way, look, if you eat a live octopus, like you kind of deserve it.
Yeah, it's your fault. Yeah.
Get fucked.
It's like, oh my god, tragic death. He was eating a live octopus. Oh, well, that's right. Then.
I mean, like what you
So
know?
his fault.
There's a reason that you never hear about people getting gored to death eating steak because you kill the cow first.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
Yeah, and
that is awful.
Pretty awful.
It's
scene.
awful.
His wife is like coaching him as well the whole time. It's like,
She's
"Eat the
into
fucking
it.
octopus."
I honestly think the wife is it might have been part of her idea because she runs the Deep. He doesn't know this,
Yeah.
but she's his actual manager.
There's definitely something that she knows. She knows the real deal. Why they want the Deep back in the Seven,
Yeah.
to what they're going to use him
She's
for.
the business sense.
and nothing. She's not having to do anything. So
Yeah.
she's like, "I will tell you what to do, and you do it." She even like tells him what to say in that Seven meeting when it comes to A-Train bringing
Yeah,
up
yeah,
one
yeah.
of the guys that's like over policing the some areas.
Blue Falcon or something.
Blue Falcon, that's it. And he's like, "Say this thing."
Which, by the way, I
To
don't know
her, it means nothing.
don't know if
which-
you know this, but Blue Falcon is a military term. It's BF, buddy fucker, somebody that like gets your friends killed or shot, you know, or like somebody that isn't paying attention and shoots their own people. It's a
What?
Blue Falcon.
I
So
did not know that.
yeah, so this guy is just like he's designed to be hated. He should be
Okay.
hated. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Better context there. There we go.
yeah. This was pretty awful, and I think the reason I think the wife's in on it is because when there's a scene of Deep and her like getting into something, and he says, "Oh yeah, you want to like jerk me off with all your hands or something like that,"
And then it comes.
right, and I think she's like realizes what's going on.
Yeah.
He's in some weird stuff, man.
Weird stuff. Anyway, I think the only thing we have to talk about is basically the last bit where like they go to Russia,
Yeah.
they go to some facility. Seems
Well,
to be
Kimiko
like-
goes and takes out the guy
oh yeah, takes out the guy.
with the dildo sex party.
Dildo sex party.
I'm sorry,
and-
like I'm not okay with silly fight scenes and stuff. But like, frickin' Predator laser beaming a guy through his skull with a dildo is where I draw the line.
yeah.
You know, that's a little bit too
She
far for
probably
me.
stabbed a bunch of them with the fucking dildos and they go through their body, and I was like, that's a
And, like,
strong dildo.
At least the Starlight one
yeah.
is like a solid, like
Yeah.
metal vibrating thing. So that I could believe someone with super strength could like shove like through you or into you, and it would like kill you, right?
Floppy dildo like that. How do
Right.
you get that through someone?
Innit? Like, anyway, it's just ridiculous. It's so stupid. And but it's good stupid. It's the stupid we love from the show, but it's just stupid.
Yeah. And she
I do
kills
feel
the
like we
guy.
didn't need that scene. Like, I don't know what that gave us.
The only thing that it gave us was just basically what happens to Kimiko afterwards, where she kills that guy. The girls that are being captured see her just as a monster, just as someone who's like killing them and whatnot, and that prompts them to go like, okay, me and Frenchie, we need to leave. We need to get out of here. We don't need these people anymore. And that's their whole thing. It's their little love connection. They're trying
I think
to
we could have had 10 minutes of more time with Butcher or Homelander or Soldier Boy or any of these people, and just had her come back covered in blood and say, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I think, and we could have got more stuff, because I don't feel like it really added anything.
Yeah.
I recently learned, I might have mentioned it before, you know, on movies where like they say what they're saying on the phone and then just hang up, and you think, no one just hangs up.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. It's called shoe leather, apparently, and it's this idea that saying goodbye to someone on the phone doesn't add anything to the scene, doesn't help the movie in any way. So they just don't show it.
Right.
They just cut it out. You say your thing and then you hang up.
Yeah.
Because saying okay, bye, okay, I'll talk to you later. All right, bye, like doesn't add anything.
It's a distraction from the actual thing that was said. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It just takes away from the scene. It doesn't add anything. It doesn't need to be in there. And I kind of feel like Kimiko's whole scene here was for that, unless they're actually going to bring out that line of dildos.
I think they should.
No joke. I think I would get some. I'd get them all, like, you know, when you tried to collect the Happy Meal set.
Yeah.
As like the boys' display.
There we go.
Like,
We'll have it on the back shelf here.
Also, I think it'd be funny to be like Starlight, Homelander, The Deep, Black Noir. You know, like,
Maeve.
right.
Yeah, so they do that job. They get the information of where they can find this weapon, and they go into this place.
Victoria Newman. That's the head popper's name.
There we go.
Sorry, I just saw it in my notes. My bad.
They go into this place. You seem kind of like autistic, just randomly like, Victoria Newman. Out of nowhere, just randomly. They go into this place, and it's deserted. There's nothing in there.
Yeah. Little touch as well, like the Russian graffiti of the Seven. Like, they don't appreciate the Seven here, and I dig that. I like that this is the non-local propagandized view of things. Yeah, it's cool.
They go in. They see a gerbil. They see a hamster or something like that.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah, and they try and like get his attention, and it's just bouncing around inside this cage. And then eventually, I think they do something. They go to the chamber thing where the
Butcher
the weapon
and
is supposed to be, right?
Butcher and Huey take V, unbeknownst to MM and Frenchie and Kimiko.
Yes. And also, Huey takes it unbeknownst to Butcher.
That's right.
So it's like another layer to it. And they set off an alarm. A bunch of Russian military guys start coming in. They start shooting up the place. Butcher, because he's taken V and he knows what his powers are, he just walks out, gets shot, nothing happens. All the Frenchie and MM sees everything as well. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Also, because this is a guy who hates soups. His whole thing is like getting rid of all of them. They're unnatural. They shouldn't exist. He wants to get rid of a lot of them. And now here he is with laser beams and
exactly. And he dispatches them all.
Yeah,
most of them.
Is it? Well, maybe it's all.
There's one of them that's going to attack him, and that's when Huey reveals that he has powers as well.
Yeah.
What does he do? Does he like teleport forward and then punch a guy?
Yes. Yeah. He punches through him.
Yeah, punches through him, and it turns out like teleporting, his clothes don't go with him as well, so he's naked.
Also, Jimmy or whatever it was, the hamster gets out and just like burrows its way through a dude.
Right, it's flying as well, and then burrows through one of the soldiers' faces, and I'm like, cool. When he's done with him, he's gonna come for us.
Yeah,
surely.
I don't want to be here.
I'm gonna get out.
I've played Dead Space.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and I was like, so what? Now you a soup? And it's like, no, I've taken that 24-hour temporary thing. And it's like, what about Huey? And it's like, well, this fucker must have seen it and stole my stash. Anyway, he starts to feel...
Jamie the hamster. It's not Jimmy. Jamie. Apparently I have it in my notes here. Who knows?
Why would you have that? I don't know.
Yeah, the weird... This is the thing. It's like, in my brain when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, I know what this means. I'll just write down Jamie the hamster.
There we go.
They can't find the weapon.
They can't find the weapon. But then there's
this big thing in the middle.
Yeah. Butcher goes and rips off the door. Smoke comes out. And they see a man inside.
they see the man inside.
Well, it's not Tom Welling, so don't worry about it.
Is it? You think Tom Welling's in this kind of shape?
Let's
Yeah.
be real. Not now, but when he was in his prime.
This motherfucker was Dean Winchester in another life. The main guy from Supernatural, you freaking idiot. You're stupid.
What is Supernatural? No one knows anything about Supernatural. It's not as big as Smallville, okay? Anyway. Get over yourself.
Small's literally in the name of Smallville.
They see him. They see him in there. He's got like a oxygen mask. He takes it off.
Yeah.
But somehow that's enough for him to like wake him up and get him out. He jumps out. Seems okay. They're like Soldier Boy. Trying to get him to like, if it's him, if he's actually inside there, and his chest starts glowing, starts to glow.
Yeah, he just starts attacking people. Which I mean, he's just woken up. We have no idea how long this nap has been.
Like, is
Fair
he the
enough,
guy
he's
that's been
cranky.
holding him or not? He doesn't know. His chest starts to glow, and just as a big, massive energy surge is about to come out, and I think is it pointed at Frenchie?
Yeah, and Kimiko pushes him out of the way.
Kimiko pushes him out of the way and takes the hit. She gets flung across the room through a wall, and Soldier Boy ducks
leaves.
out.
Yeah.
And they quickly, Frenchie quickly goes over to Kimiko, and she's got like a post of rebar sticking out of her.
But she's not healing.
Why is she not healing? Why is she not healing? Why is she not healing?
Yeah.
Talking to everyone, so why is she not healing? And that's the end of the episode.
Finn. We also, I don't know about you, I got the impression. I'll just tell you because you're going to find out. Well, no, let me. What is your impression of Soldier Boy?
So from the video that we saw of him at Nicaragua,
Yeah.
it just seems like I've got
Captain
these
America.
superpowers. I'm not gonna give a shit. I'm here for the fame. I'm here for the glory, and nothing could hurt me, so I don't really care.
Right.
He's not really. I want to destroy the world like Homelander, or I want to kill everyone type thing. But I'm just like, I'm the big boss. Everyone loves me, and I'm just gonna soak in all this glory.
Yeah.
But I'll also do some fighting
Yeah.
crime and stuff like that.
Right,
but
right.
I don't really care, to be honest. I just want to get all the thing. That's the kind of thing I get.
Cool.
And I'm pretty sure the weapon was probably something that they concocted in this lab. Couldn't get it to work on. Couldn't get whoever has this like energy pulse in the thing to last long enough in other people. I think.
What
Isn't
energy
it?
pulse?
So you know the blast that came out of his chest.
Yeah.
I assumed that was the thing that they developed.
Okay, good. I'm glad you said that because I was thinking the exact same thing. Although I've seen further up to this point, I was like, I don't think that is his. It's something he can do.
Yeah, I don't think that was his ability. There's something they put into him.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they put into other soups before, but they weren't as resilient that they
Right.
could handle the thing that
Yeah.
they've made.
Because
and
also
that's
the
the reason why they took his
Butcher
body.
and those guys seem super surprised that he did that.
Yeah.
Like, not only does that not seem right, like, it doesn't feel right in it. So
Yeah.
I'm with you for sure.
So I think they put that weapon inside a more resilient body.
Oh, you think they designed this beam thing,
Yeah.
tried to use it on him, but whoever it was in wasn't strong enough, and it just
And
like
just
knocked
died.
him out. So they picked him up, so they could put the weapon in him, so that
I think that they developed the weapon and they put it in another soup, let's say, but that soup died trying to use it.
Right.
Used it on Soldier Boy.
Right.
And they took his body in order to
put it in him, so they have a something strong enough to use the weapon
Exactly.
more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
At this point, I do think that I can tell that Soldier Boy is going to come back in his own mind, that he's going to be himself again. If I hadn't known that, if I didn't have that kind of foresight to know what's going to happen, I would say that that's not Soldier Boy in there, that it's just the shell.
Yeah, that's Comrade Soldier.
Exactly. It's going to be like, Universal Soldier, the movie. It's like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the
I
shell's
can't
there.
believe we brought that up. Okay, boys, we're bringing back Movie Club.
Movie Club.
Universal Soldier.
One.
You guys, by the way, it goes up to like 7. You guys grew up in an era where movies are generally good. We weren't so lucky.
No, we weren't.
So, Universal Soldier,
the premise was get this handsome guy with
Right.
a great body.
a guy that can do a spinning back kick.
Exactly.
That's the foundation of our movie.
the movie. And just add a bunch of mumbo jumbo that don't make sense.
Right. Right.
Yeah, they're dead. We bring them
I feel
back.
like-
We have to keep them cold though.
Right.
Stick them in an ice bath. What?
Yeah, don't. In fairness, I feel like Vin Diesel makes the kind of movies that we grew up with, but thought that they were good now.
Yeah.
Like, there's one where the whole premise is he died. He was a soldier and he died.
Yeah.
And they put like nanobots in him and now he can't die or something. Like, that's the movie. Go.
Go. I love. There's probably some people out there who haven't seen Universal Soldier.
I probably all of these boys.
And
You're
they're just
missing-
like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
What were all those
You're-
things you said?
You're missing out on a lot of stuff. You think like some of these Marvel movies and stuff. You're like, this one doesn't make any sense. You think Thor: Dark World's bad. Like we think Thor: Dark World was like good enough to go and see in the cinema. Trust.
Yeah. Anyway, he dips out. So that's the end of
dips,
that. That's all we have for this review part here. As I said, next week we're gonna have the whole last 4 episodes wrapped up,
Yeah.
and we can talk about the whole season in general. Thank you for joining us for that part. We do have some comments.
I was just scrolling through. There are a
Yes.
couple
Yes.
for this show, and like 2 times as many for other shows.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey guys, write in about the boys," and we've got
Do you know the-
one talking about Miss Marvel
Yes,
Streamcast.
yeah.
We've got one talking about what was it? Go back up.
Vanda
here.
just says peak.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, it was.
The thing is, the problem, the boy, you guys, the guys on Discord,
No,
are
this
kind
is-
of basically complaining that we didn't do this week to week, right? One, it's literally the day after we record, so that would have been a problem. But also, like, no one whose opinion we respect was like, yo, watch The Boys Season 3.
No one.
If anybody that I cared about had said it,
Yeah.
I would have not only considered it strongly, but probably just said okay, because, like, you have good taste,
Right.
and I respect that, so I'll cover it because of that good taste, because of your recommendation. Or just because I like you, I care about you, you're a worthwhile human being. Your existence is a benefit
Yes.
to the world, not a power up to entropy, just
Right.
bringing us ever close to the point where all energy leaves the universe and everything freezes to death.
Right. You're not one of those. If you weren't one of those people,
Right.
then we would have considered it. But no one worth listening to had started a hashtag or anything like that. It was just
Right. And so we were left to not
make up our own decision.
Exactly.
Like, so cool, Kenobi. Let's go do that.
exactly, which, let's be
And then
honest,
come back to
far superior show,
fast superior.
much more beneficial to its own lore, to its fans.
And was very much about what it said in the title.
That's right. I mean, we got how many episodes? 6 episodes just dedicated basically to Kenobi.
All
By the
to
end of it,
Kenobi.
by the end of it, I knew everything about Obi-Wan and his brother Obi-2.
Exactly.
What more could you ask for?
Can't ask for much more than that.
BS, bro. Hashtag 2 Ruby Hartley simp. I don't know what that means.
Ruby
bruv.
Hartley?
What does this mean? T, what does this mean? Google Ruby
I'm
Hartley.
gonna Google it. Yeah.
I love how they're not trying to make us feel bad for Deep, which is my main concern. He's just an evil bitch for himself. Overall, I love the way.
Oh, Ruby Hartley's the ginger chick from Stranger Things.
Who?
I think it's her. Oh wait, no. Hold on a second. No, she just looks like her.
Overall, I love the way that I thought I would. Yeah, Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy looks weird. Soldier Boy anyway, looks weird, but something I expect from every cartoon character going live action. And holy shit, I wasn't expecting Ashley. That's the hairpin chick.
Right.
To be in it. I love her sass. The actress did a great job. Oh my god, there's not a single punctuation. That's why I'm struggling. I'm like, how long is this sentence going? Young Starlight definitely has that Starlight in herself, which is cool. Is this as you're watching it?
It might be right. It looks like a consciousness stream.
Yeah. Help me, Huey, you're my only hope. What the hell? Starlight has, but they're actually going to explain the whole Help me, Huey, you're my hope. Okay, episode 2. I have 2 problems. I'm having a freaking aneurysm.
Trying to read this right.
Why does Maeve know about Butcher? My thought was that she saw him when she was a villain or something and connected the dots. Has she been a villain? I'm really confused, bro. Vought doesn't know how superheroes work. They literally killed the Black Noir that stabbed him. Bruv,
The only part you need to read here is that Shep sucks ass, apparently.
That's the important one.
That's the important bit.
T. The thing is, this feels like a consciousness stream of just your whole thoughts of the show, but then obviously you're translating it into English, and you're not using punctuation. I'm really, really struggling here, and it is, I'll be honest, it's probably more me than you, but I feel like the Butcher actor... Oh, the Butcher actor played in Thor Ragnarok. That's what... Oh, yeah, he was... He's the guy that takes over from Heimdall.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he gets his 2 assault rifles, Des and Troy.
I like Carl Urban, but that was one of his weaker roles. I
That
would
was
say.
weak. It was a weak role, not him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, Carl Urban's been good in everything. He stands out in Doom.
Yeah.
I actually do like Carl Urban a lot. Doom, unironically, I enjoy. Dread is fantastic. And I'm really sad that we haven't continued that universe. That was a great movie. It didn't do very well, though, but I thought it was great.
I thought it was great too. Do you mind if I read the next one?
Please do. I'm going to keep reading this to see if I can, like, pick out
anything.
Yeah.
Batfan wrote in, he goes, well, season 3 is almost over. I'm sorry no one asked for The Boys. Here's my thoughts on Ghost Rider instead.
Thank you,
and
bro.
he goes on to write about, talk about Nicolas Cage and everything. Nicolas Cage, great in Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider's great. Fantastic.
Ghost Rider is probably the pinnacle of superhero anything, really.
Exactly. Cryptic writes in and goes, this isn't hashtag Miss Marvel Streamcast, so who cares? Am I right? Who cares? Diogo says, hashtag Ms. Marvel Streamcast. Did you see Kamala team up with Captain America, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp to fight Ultron? Best show ever. Suck it.
T, bruv, I want to read your comment. It doesn't make any sense to me.
He's written it in another language and then translated it into English again. He does write in, Diogo does write in, he says, Kimiko and Frenchie are one of the highlights of these episodes.
I fully agree.
They're just so wholesome. I really want to see them leave the gang and have happy ending. No one's had a happy ending in this whole show.
Right.
You think they're gonna?
Right. And also, like, they're cute together because I feel like it's a dream in it. Like, it can never work. They both have far too many enemies. She's a known terrorist in a soup. He's like an arms dealer, drug addict. Like, he's not going to go and get a job at B&Q helping people with their, like, electronics and stuff. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to... Like, what do we think is a happy ending for these guys? Because the way he will end up making money is they'll go to... She says she wants to go somewhere, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Marseille. Is it Marseille?
Yeah, Marseille, yeah.
So she wants to go to Marseille. They'll go there.
Which apparently is this in sign language. I don't know.
I mean, it's like your home.
Oh, could be.
Like, learn her made-up sign language,
I'm
bruv.
sorry, bro. Sorry.
That was what I guessed. Like, go to home. So, okay, they'll go to Marseille, and what will happen? He'll end up doing same sort of stuff, like dealing weapons and shit, information for dodgy people to make money. That's his skill set. So,
Yeah.
it can never really happen. Even if they did get away, they never really get away.
No.
Because the problems are them, not...
Exactly.
You know?
It goes, but oh my god, I hope she doesn't die. What did Soldier Boy do to her? Butcher and Huey scrambling, so succumbing to V is done really well, which feeds into their characters in this story. They're both broken and looking to even the odds, which drives them for power, rather than just being, hey, there's V, let's take this for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Huey being delighted about his powers, whilst Kimiko is bleeding out, says 1,000 words about how him and Butcher and doing this for the wrong reasons, and even justifies it. And even if it's justified, it's going to bite them back later. And I've not even talked about the Psycho Homelander not giving a fuck anymore. I'll leave it there, otherwise this will be an alpha thesis, and I can't imagine all the people living for today would find time for that. Yeah, no one has enough time for that, mate.
I think the thing about the Huey still being happy while Kimiko's lying there is twofold. One, he's a guy that's been powerless his whole life and now has power, right? Like, he doesn't have to worry about being shot. He doesn't have to always be afraid anymore.
Yeah.
For like these minutes. And also, like, there is the presumption that Kimiko can heal from just about anything. They've seen that.
She got shot in the head in the previous scene.
Right. So I don't think he's super worried, but I know what you mean. It's sort of like, now that he's in this thing, he's just forgotten about stuff, and that does end up being the reality. And the concern for other people, when he now no longer needs to be concerned about other people, seems to go out the window almost immediately. And it's kind of cool because he has a bunch of weaknesses that it's sort of like the actual Captain America thing. You know the movie where he's like, they pick Steve because he's selfless and stuff, right? And Huey isn't that pure of a person.
No.
And it's like, you don't want to give the bully the superpowers, but you also don't want to give the victim superpowers, because usually they'll turn into the bully.
Yeah, they'll just want to exact revenge, won't they?
Right.
Yeah.
So and I think that's more Huey. Huey's more the victim who will take it out on people. Not quite so much, but where Steve Rogers is like pure good intentions no matter what. BS Bro number 3. Good show. We'll continue to watch. You probably expected a whole review written live as I watch it, but freak that. I'm too busy thinking of ways to get Sheps to watch Umbrella Academy. I don't know if you know this, but he started a daily campaign.
To try and get you
it's
to watch.
daily in the any day he remembers. He just continues.
To try and get you to watch Umbrella
Yeah.
Academy. I've started watching it, by the way.
Is it any good?
I don't think you would like it personally. It's not. It's not anything that I can pick on to
My
say
brother
that's
watched
the reason.
it. And yeah.
It's okay. It's just it's a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even I'm lost. I don't know what's going on there, but there's cool lights.
Yeah. Which you know, now we're in something.
No.
Eddie, if it comes to it, tie him up and force him to watch all 3 seasons. Don't worry about letting him sleep because we know he doesn't. See you next week for Hero Gasm Streamcast. Oh yeah, that's right. Don't know if you know, but episode 5 or 6 is called
Hero
Hero
Gasm.
Gasm.
I've heard about that. Adam says Man vs. B is much better. Trevor could easily beat and kill Homelander. Who's Trevor? Is that the B? I don't fucking know. BS Bro says, gonna go back in time for the episodes and see you in the new timeline. Thoughts incoming if you don't step on any butterflies. If I do, then it's been a fun ride. I'm sorry, Alpha, you've clearly done something wrong because you haven't come back. Brefman also, he mentions flashbacks to Hero Gasm here, so I think he's accidentally gone too far.
Yeah,
I don't want to read it
because I'm
anymore.
up to date. So let me. Which was this? There's a couple things. So I'm just skimming it, and it kind of looks like he's talking about the next episode. So,
Okay.
Brefman, we're going to skip your comment because of that.
And because we hate you, there is that as well.
Most importantly, well, actually, no, he's not even a patron. So, like, you're
Fuck
good,
him.
bro. You're good, bro. We care
Oh, sorry,
about
we
you.
care about- sorry, we
he's
love
not
you.
a patron.
We love you. My apologies.
But we're going to have to see it because we don't want Ed to get spoiled.
Exactly.
Let's see.
Igor? What's he saying?
Love these episodes. Such a great start to the season. Few things I love the most is Anthony Starr's performance. He is stealing just about every scene he's in.
Yeah.
Dude is just incredible and probably one of the best castings of all time. Emmy-worthy performance. Maeve and Butcher teaming up. Don't know how and why, but it's awesome. A-Train is jokes. I really hope we get more from him. And the Deep. That fight they had was hilarious.
The little fight in the corridor.
Yeah. It was comical. That had me dying. The flashback episode.
Hold on.
One sec. Oh yeah, no, they're talking about the flashback to Nicaragua.
Oh, okay.
Because we did spend a lot of that episode in Nicaragua. It was great. The casting again was on point. The dude that played young Edgar was spot on. See, this is weird. I can see why people might like it, but I just didn't. I think it was the wrong way to go.
I vibe with it.
Seeing Black Noir for the first time was sick. I'm glad he's not like he is in the comics. Soldier Boy is also amazing. Jensen Ackles is awesome. Ackles is awesome. And it was cool hearing Black Noir starting out as just like another hero trying to make his way up the ranks. You know, like, I want to do this.
To see me, you know, they want to see my face. I want to hear
Right.
them.
Kimiko and Frenchie arcs are amazing. I really love them where they take it this season. Couple of questions I've got. Madeline's son from the first mission being a... Who's Madeline? Is that
Madeline's son from the first season being a soup caught me off guard. And what's the purpose? And could it be related to Homeland?
Who's Madeline? Oh, the baby. The baby. Frickin' Madeline, the one who... The frickin' the CEO bitch. That Homeland is always trying to frick.
Yeah.
Madeline's son from the first season being a soup caught me off
Yeah,
guard.
because that kid was a soup, wasn't
kid?
he?
Was he? I don't know.
Yeah, I remember Butcher used him one time for his laser eyes and was like going
That was
like
just
that.
a kid. That wasn't her kid. They were just in a lab with soup
Yeah, it's
babies. So he
true.
just picked up a baby and
true.
it had laser eyes. Bro, at me and let me know when we saw Madeline's kid. Because I don't remember that at all.
She did have a kid in that house.
She did. And maybe, do you know
Where
what?
did
Maybe
that kid go?
maybe he's at the home. You know, the frickin' they go to that care home, right? The
Yeah?
orphanage or whatever. Is he there?
Who knows? I
Do you think-
would have thought a Vault would have sorted something out, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
2, what happens to Ryan now that he hates Butcher? Ryan's the Homelander's kid. Does he
Yeah.
go back to Homelander? Doubt. Or does he make up with Butcher? I really don't know what his purpose is in this season other than just being there. I think his purpose is Homelander. His only role really is to give Homelander a reason to pursue Butcher and stuff.
Homelander says as well, like later on, it's like, where is Ryan? Like, I want.
Yeah, he comes to
I wanna
Butcher's
see him
house.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
3. How is Victoria able to give her kid Compound V?
Oh yeah, she does, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She gets some Compound V from Homelander and injects it in her daughter.
Yeah, so his question is, how was he able to give it to her kid, because that was for babies.
For newborns.
But that's not true, because Kimiko's an adult when she gets it.
Yeah, and so's a thing as well, right? What's her name? Victoria. Because she says
No. She was a
Does she?
soup. Yeah, 'cause
she's
she's brought up in that soup orphanage.
so she said the only reason why I thought that is because she says to her, it's like, yeah, this happened to me when I was younger. I thought it was like she meant younger when she was about her age. But I guess it meant a lot younger than
Yeah,
so-
probably. So great start of the season. It gets even better. Also want to mention how Termite, that was a Brer's name, left me traumatized for life, and Jensen Ackles has a nice ass. Jensen Ackles has America's ass.
Get
God
fucked,
damn.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, get fucked. God damn, what a man. Also, seriously, Jensen Ackles is really annoying because he looks that way. He's like 6'2", gorgeous, genuinely talented actor, talented
Although we
musician.
haven't seen it yet. I mean,
Brev, do you think you could act tired after...
I can act tired all the time right now.
You've no idea what it's like. I know what it's like. Genuinely talented actor, talented musician. Like, dude's got his own like band. He makes music.
Oh shit!
And it's good.
It's a bit much.
It's annoying. Yeah, leave something for the rest of us, Ackles, or at least be hung like a freaking platypus. You know, like nothing there. He should be like Ken doll. You know,
Smooth.
yeah, right. BS Bro 1. So far, the season hasn't been as terrible as the first. What the frick are you talking about? It definitely is better than the second season. The Termite scene was shocking, but the Timothy scene was genuinely tough to watch. I actually agree.
It was bad.
Yeah, in a good way, as intended. The show continues to be a good parody of stuff, and I'd agree with most of the comments you've already read. I'll probably do a proper comment for the finale. That's going to be very long to read, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, and he rated the episodes episode 1, 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5.
There we go.
Gaming.
All right, guys. We will catch
I like
you
that.
guys.
They're like the hearts.
White and orange,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's good. It's good. We will catch you guys in the next episode.
Yes, we
Remember,
will.
next week we'll be back here to do the last 4 episodes. Watch all of those. Come back here, and we'll talk in general how we like this season and where we think it's
Gaming.
going to go. Bro, thank you for joining me for another episode of
buddy.
Streamcast, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.
Yeah, exclusive to Vault Plus.
Oh, Vault Plus! Everyone go subscribe
To
now.
VTube.
To VTube. That's it right there.